do we need to have a method to study Bible? And to study Bible, we discussed that a method is required or a method is mandatory. And why a method is required? The first reason, Brother Badal has said that since God did everything orderly and systematically, we also have to do everything in that way. And the second reason is, Bible is written in a language, right? How many languages are used in Bible? What are the languages? Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. So, which language used in the Old Testament? Hebrew and Aramaic. And the New Testament? Greek means which Greek? Classical Greek or that ancient Greek is actually classical Greek. Is it classical Greek or any other Greek? Have you heard about? Bible is written in Koine Greek. Okay, that you will study later. Koine is actually common. The word koine is common. It's a common Greek. Bible is written in a common Greek. That's what. It's a koine Greek. So if anyone asks, like, okay, Bible is written, New Testament is written in Greek. If you want to specify a little more, it's written in Koine Greek. That you have to say. Koine. Koine is actually a Greek word. The meaning is common. Okay. Since Bible is written in a language, uh, of course, Bible is a literature, right? It's a literature, because it's a linguistic book, and three languages is included in Bible. So to study a language, or um, and also Bible is written in a historical background, and there are incidents, there are biographies, and everything is mentioned in the Bible. So to know that one, moreover that again 2000 years passed. The last, what was the last book? Which is the last book in the New Testament, in the entire Bible? No, the entire Bible. Huh? I mean, the whole Bible in 66 books. Which is the last book? Revelation, right? What was the date? 90, right? 90 to 95, right? It's 90 to 95 AD. That means how many years passed from now? It's almost, right? Or it's like, we can say almost, right? 1900 years over. So we are studying a book, at least now if we consider the uh, like, it's the last book of the Bible is written almost 1900 years ago. That means we are studying something which is very old, which is not in our system, and which is not in our realm. We are studying a book or event or a person who lives almost 1900 years ago. So to know that one, and to analyze the situation, to analyze the condition of that time, definitely we need to use some methods. Otherwise, no, by a simple reading, we may not understand their language. For example, just think that you are in a 21st century living, right? Like in your place, Orissa. Just imagine that 500 years ago. Just imagine, okay, 500 years ago, I don't think that Orissa is there, or I don't know. But just think that in your place, someone lived, they have a culture, they have a language, they have a way of, different way of communication, and you are living in the 21st century. Can you exactly understand them, right? Because it is almost changed because the system is changed, the science is improved, the way of communication is improved, and everything is drastically changed. So to know them, what do we have to do? We have to go to their culture and to understand them. No, that is not possible because 500 years ago is almost done. We cannot go back. There is no time machine. Just turn and you cannot go there. So one thing we have to use certain methods to study. So what I am telling is definitely now some people they will argue like, oh, we don't need to have a method. No, there is no need of a method to study. Just open your Bible and read it and study it. There is no need of any like kind of systematic way of thinking or any. You don't need to make any order or anything. Just do. If you read Old Testament now, you can read New Testament, and you don't need to have any connection. Just read and study. That's all. But Bible we cannot study in that way because it is written in a flow. In a flow, it is written. So we have to go with the flow. Use the methods. That methods will help you to understand their culture, and if you understand their culture, what definitely you will the message that God has given to them will be clear to you so that you can apply to your personal life. Otherwise, no, you won't be able to the message won't be clear. You can draw some messages from the Bible, but that may not be a clear message from the word. Okay, so what I'm telling is we need a method. Reason number one, God created and made everything orderly. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Bible is written in a language or it's a literature. Since we are studying a language or literature, definitely we need some methods because there is grammar, there is like phrases, there is figures, there is like yeah, euphemisms, and everything is there. So to understand that one, definitely we need to use some methods. And thirdly, the Bible is written. No, uh, there is a time gap. How long? Almost the last book is almost 1900 years ago. That means if you think about Genesis and book of Job is again like it's long back. So there is a time gap. To solve out, to consort the time gap, definitely we need to do a methodology in studying Bible. Okay? Are you clear now? Why do we need a method? Okay. So you want to add any more reasons to that? Okay. Then now we are going to study what are the different methods. Okay. Before we go to the methods, we will see what are the three steps of studying Bible. Okay. Three steps to or what are the three steps included in studying the Bible? It's very important, okay? Very important. Number one, observation. Number two, interpretation. Third, application. Okay, three steps to study the Bible. Observation. What is observation? What is observation? Examining. Okay. When I ask observation, you are telling me the meaning. Uh, okay, just think that you're going to study Bible. Okay, now you're going to study Bible. So you have selected a certain passage or a certain chapter, and the first step is you're going to observe. What are you going to observe in that passage? That's what I want. Huh? Okay, let's start from the beginning. That's all are coming in the late. Just start from the beginning, the primary. Hmm? Yeah, that's okay. That's all are coming. Okay, that's the final, the conclusion. That is all about in the text. What is the nutshell or what is the core idea of that passage? That's okay. Yeah, this all are coming. Like if you just tell one by one, I can write it down. Just think that you're taking a passage. Okay, Christian Philippine. Which version is this man? NIV? You all are using NIV man. I wonder. Like if you're taking this passage, like and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on death on a cross. Okay, you just randomly you open the Bible and you got this passage. So when you read this passage, first where you have to look. No man, first is the book, right? Which which epistle is there, oh, right? That is the first thing, huh? Which epistle is that? Because that is the main. When you start studying a text, we are not going to study the entire book at a time, right? We are just going to select a passage. Okay, if you take a chapter or any passage or anything, first thing what do you to observe? Which epistle is that, right? Or which book is that? And again, if you and you found a, I mean, you understood you have taken from such a book. Then what do you have to see? Whether it is, if it is New, just think about New Testament. If it is New Testament, whether it is Gospel or Pauline epistle or general epistle or or Revelation, right? Okay, now you understand why a book is important. If you are not concerned about the book, will anything happen? Or another word, to study a passage, do we need to concern about the book? Do you understand my question? Okay, you select a passage, but you are not thinking about the book. Okay, which book is that? And you don't need to worry about the author. You're not worrying about the theme of the book. You're not worrying about the purpose of the book. Is it a good habit or is it a good method? That's what I said. So if you are taking a passage, immediately you have to see what is the book. Definitely you know that book, but again, this should be a primary concern. Which book is that? And it it fall under which category? It fall under gospel? Is it fall under Pauline epistle? Is it fall under general epistle? Is fall under the the apocalyptic or the revelation? Because this each section has different characteristics, right? If you think about one thing I forgot, Acts, book of Acts. If you're taking a passage, for example, last time I told you, right, about that the Jehovah's Witness man who came to me and told me about a passage, Acts chapter 15 verses 28. You're reading that one, and that book is very important. Why? Book of Acts is actually a transitional book, right? Book of Acts is a transitional book. What is a transitional book? Hmm? What is not translation, transition? What the word mean by transition? Transition, transportation, transition actually, it's a changing, right? It's a changing. That means what? Book of Acts is a transitional book means what? Haven't you studied Book of Acts? You study, right? Bible college you study? No. Oh, personally you studied. Okay. So that is the first thing. No, what is the character of that book? If you're studying a passage from the book of Acts, then you need to know the character of the book of Acts. Book of Acts is actually a transitional book. Transitional book means what? Yeah, it's a transition from Old Testament to New Testament. So the book is somewhere here. The transition is actually changing, taking place. There in the book of Acts we see the establishment of the church, right? Establishment of the church and the growth of the church. Still a change from Old Testament. No, after the death of Jesus Christ, they gathered here in the day of Pentecost. The church is established. Then we see the entire book, we see the growth of the church. That is why it's called a transitional book. And you know one more thing, from book of Acts you cannot make a doctrine. You know that one? You cannot formulate a doctrine from the book of Acts. Why? Because it's a transitional book. A transition is taking place. That is why the scholar says you cannot make a doctrine. For example, like there was no that's a different topic that we will come later when we discuss later. So I'm just telling each book has its own characters. So if you don't understand the character of that book, you cannot study that particular passage. So that passage, what you are taking, it should be included in the book. If you don't know anything about the book, then you cannot study the text. That's what I mean. Okay. So and again, uh, let me ask you a question. Since I asked this question, uh, are we under whose ministry? I mean, we are under whose ministry? Huh? Jesus or Paul? We are under whose ministry? Paul. Why you are telling Paul? Hmm? Am I confusing you? Yeah. But if you think about the ministry of each person, right? What you said is right. I agree with you. But if you think about the ministry, Jesus' ministry was for Jews, right? To the Syrophoenician woman, what he said, I came to serve my people, right? Not for you. So the Jesus ministry was for the Jews. And ultimately, theologically, when we speak, he came to save the entire world. That is true theologically. But that ministry was carried out by whom? It's Paul, right? So he is the apostle of Gentiles. Who are we? Are we Jews? We are Gentiles, right? So we are under Paul's ministry. Of course, Jesus is the one who entrusted him, and Paul is the servant of Christ. He saw the resurrected Jesus Christ. That's why he became Apostle Paul. But Jesus has selected him to be the apostles of the Gentiles, right? So, since we are Gentiles, through Jesus Christ, we are under Paul's ministry. Okay? So, that's a normal question that I asked because these all are connected in the transitional book. Okay? Okay, so observation. Number one, which book is that? And number two, okay, now you understood the book, the character of that book. Whether if it's a gospel, okay, it's a gospel. Pauline epistle, again, in each book, in Pauline epistle, in each book, like for example, mm, let's divide Pauline epistles books, right? You can divide Pauline epistle in three. Just tell me what are the three divisions? Huh? Huh? Church letter, prison letter, and so no pastor's letter, pastoral epistles. So individual, okay, okay, return to individuals. Church is returned to different churches. Prison when he was in the prison, right? Epicophy, right? Ephesian, Philippian, Colossian, Philemon. These are the three books. Okay, this is the way you characterize the book, right? I characterized the book in a different way. Polemic epistle, prophetic epistle, prison epistle. Polemic, prophetic, prison. Polemic, problematic. Okay? Polemic is actually problematic. The book, the epistle which he deals with the problems, it's a polemic. Prophetic, prophetic in nature. For example, Thessalonians, first and second Thessalonians is a prophetic epistle. Prison epistle is again, as you said. This is the way I divide Pauline epistles. Okay, so whatever characterization, I don't. It's not a problem. Okay, you select a passage. For example, you're going to study First Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 13 to 17. Just think that you're going to study that passage. You know, it's the book is First Thessalonian written by Paul, that you all know. it comes, according to your category, it comes under church letter, right? So according to my category, it comes under prophetic epistle. So chapter 13 to 17, in the observation part, the first observation is over. When it comes to the second observation, what are you going to observe? Hmm? Is there any problem mentioned, right? If you read that passage, first you have to see, is there a, what is actually that passage talking about? Is it a problem solving passage? It's a statement. It's a problem solving passage, or it's a statement, or it's a doctrinal, that you need to observe. Okay, for if you have you read about this passage, first chapter 4 verses 13 to 17, Thessalonian. Just take your Bible and read once. Otherwise, if I tell first Thessalonian, and you will not understand. Ah. Hmm. 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 Okay. Okay, all of you are, just open that Bible, take your note, and I want you to observe the text like 13 to 17, and you can observe whatever you want. Okay, it's including how many words are there, what is the, how many words are repeatedly used, and um, is there any doctrine mentioned, is there any problem mentioned, is there any character is coming, is there any um, did he try to solve any issues, such things. You come up with a different observation. Take at least 5 to 10 minutes and come up with the observation. Otherwise, if I'm teaching observation, if you are not observing, that won't be good enough. So do that observation. Let me see who is coming with a vital information and a vital observation. 13 to 17. You can start with the book, okay? First Thessalonian. First Thessalonian is actually Paul's, like, it's not the first epistle, but the I would appreciate if anyone comes with a doctrine, or how many doctrines are mentioned. 13 to 17, if you just carefully look, there are 3 or 4 doctrines are mentioned in that particular passage. Come up with at least 2. Class is over. Of Jesus Christ. They believed in second coming of Jesus Christ. They thought like when they are alive, they believe in the imminency of Jesus Christ. They thought, okay, Jesus Christ is going to come soon. Come soon. He is going to come soon. And while we are alive, okay, Thessalonians thought that while we are alive, Jesus is going to come and going to take us. That's what they believe. And immediately, you know what happened? Some of the Thessalonian believers died because of the persecution and because of the other reasons. Then immediately they have a confusion. Oh, we were thinking that while we all are alive, Jesus Christ is going to come, or until Jesus Christ come, we are not going to die. While alive, we are going to be with Jesus Christ. That's what they were thinking. So while some of them died, they have a confusion since they didn't have any advice of apostles. They themselves come up with the conclusion that those who are died, they cannot be part when Jesus Christ comes. Okay, they cannot be a part when Jesus Christ comes. Those who are died, they are gone. They are gone forever. That's what they were thinking. So this is a misunderstanding. This is a misconception. So while Paul saw that these people are thinking in that way, he is trying to clarify their doubts, as Badal said, regarding the dead and alive. Okay. So what he so here he comes up with different doctrines, right? What are the doctrines? Sorry, what is spelling of resurrection, man? I forgot. Sometime I confused with this. RES. Oh, yeah. Sometime my mind goes blank. Resurrection, right? Here is a spelling mistake. RESURR. Resurrection, right? C E C T I O N. Okay. ECTION. Okay, resurrection. Okay, number one, resurrection and transformation, right? Transformation, rapture, right? So